In Conversation with Terry Shepard, award-winning broadcaster, narrator, and author. A deep dive into the writer's craft with the artists and support systems who create the stories we love.
There's something irresistible about a good mystery, especially when it sparkles. Today's guest knows that better than anyone. C.B. Wilson is a graduate of the Gemological Institute of America, and after writing a delectable 9 Barkview dog mysteries, she's turned her lifelong fascination with rare and radiant stones into a brand new cozy series that glitters with intrigue, humor, and heart. Her debut in the Gem Hunter saga, The Fire Diamond, begins with the disappearance of Sunset Peak's most legendary treasure, the Peak Diamond, during the town's centennial gala. What follows is a whirlwind of secrets, scandal, and sisterhood as diamond detective Taylor Hunter hunts for the truth alongside her diamond-sniffing dachshund, Glimmer. There's a dead broker, a perfect replica, and a police chief she's sworn never to trust. But in this small Arizona town, every sparkle hides a shadow. C.B. Wilson, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Boy, that was a great lead into this new series, Terry.
What made you change lanes?
I felt that it was time to do an action adventure. I've always wanted to, and this particular series really is very much more adventure. There's excitement at every corner. There's intrigue, and it's not wrapped around a cozy village. Although the story does take place in Sunset Peak, which is a small town, it really is international in scope.
Give us the backstory on your protagonist, Taylor Hunter.
Taylor is the daughter of an international jewel thief. And so her name to fame is her life was preset for her. If she wanted to go into law enforcement, that was never going to happen. So what she ended up doing was learning about diamonds because, of course, it's in her DNA. Her father is a jewel thief. She learned all about diamonds, inherited a business from her grandmother, who is has an estate jewelry company, and she runs it with her sister. But the problem is that she just wasn't happy in small town Sunset Peak. So she went to go work for De Beers, the biggest diamond company in the world, and learned to be in security. So in the end, what she does as her sidekick or her side hustle is she is a diamond detective. She is hired by insurance companies to find lost and stolen diamonds when the police have given up. They have no idea where to go next. And in comes Taylor to help find the lost stones.
You mentioned the relationship between Taylor and her twin sister, Hope. What inspired that dynamic?
Well, I wanted the nonverbal communication. I wanted to be able to tell the story from 2 different perspectives with a single point of view. And I ended up doing that quite well in this story. So there's the back and forth with the sisters, which is very nonverbal in so many cases, as twins are apt to do. Within this particular story, there is another twin angle, and I won't get so into it because it really is a fun part of the story itself.
Your nonverbal writing in the Barkview series is fantastic. How did you learn to do that?
I think that I'm an observer. I've been in sales for a long time, and I'm fortunate enough, or one of my strengths is that when I go into a room, I know what everything is that's going around without a word never being said. So writing about it just made a lot of sense.
Our guest is author C.B. Wilson. We're talking about The Fire Diamond, a gem hunter's mystery, the first in a brand new series, The Gem Hunters, Book 1. Police Chief Rocky Rockman, what a name. Tell us about his role and what makes his chemistry with Taylor sizzle.
Well, Rocky is the best friend of her ex-husband. So immediately there is tension between the two of them. And it's pretty big because her ex-husband was not a particularly nice guy. The two of them working together I just love the scene. The tension between them it's just sizzles at the very beginning when you meet him for the first time.
And of course, Glimmer steals every scene that she's in. Was she inspired by a real pet?
Yes, she is, as a matter of fact. Glimmer was inspired by a friend of mine has a dachshund. It's a mini dachshund. And I always thought the dog was adorable. She's very cute and very photogenic. But she was not the reason I particularly chose a dachshund. What I needed for this particular book was a scent hound of some sort. And the series will be international. The first book took place in Sunset Peak. The next one will be in Catalina, and the one after that will be in Asia. So I needed a dog that could travel, that I could put on a commercial aircraft without having a whole bunch of problems with it. Now, diamond dogs are actually real dogs. These are dogs that do hunt diamonds, mostly in South Africa, and they're larger. They're more German Shepherd style, but larger dogs. And again, a German Shepherd on an international air flight was going to be a problem. So when I chose the dog, I chose something that would fit in front of the seat in front of her.
How are diamond sniffing dogs trained?
Well, it's the way they train any scent hound. So you'll start with the diamond, you have the dog smell the diamond and then hide it somewhere, have them go find the diamond. And it becomes a process at that point. What we find with scent hounds is that their ability to smell is 10 million times better than, I may have too many zeros on that, by the way, but it is so much better than what humans smell. And even most dogs. Potentially they have the ability to smell a diamond 200 feet in the ground. And they will use the dogs exactly for that because the dogs do a better job than the machinery does nowadays.
So diamonds have a unique scent?
As a dog can tell you that. They're made of carbon. So to me, it was absolutely fascinating that you could train a dog to find this.
You mentioned that your best plot ideas come while riding in the Arizona desert. What is it about that environment that fuels your creativity?
I think it's just the horse. I've learned to ride when I was very young, and I was a show jumper, so a hunter jumper. And I'm just very comfortable and relaxed on a horse, and it's the rhythm for me, and it just helps me think. I've spoken to many people who say, no, the shower is the greatest place for me to come up with ideas. And I really find that it's when I'm out in the outdoors. I like the outdoors, I enjoy it, and just the horseback riding is just something that's very special to me and brings me back to my childhood.
Creatives often tell me that long walks, washing dishes, and riding horses put them in a zone where their subconscious can do the work. Is that your experience?
I think that's a very good way to put that. Yeah, absolutely. And this particular book, The Fire Diamond, does take place in Arizona. And Hunter is a rider. She was a barrel racer when she was a child. So there are a handful of scenes that she is on horseback. And I think that everyone, if people who have not ridden before, will get a really good feel for what it's like to ride in this book.
Sunset Peak feels like a character in itself. How did you build that small town setting?
If you have ever been to Cave Creek, Arizona, you're going to see a lot of similarities. I think what I did was I took Prescott, Arizona, and Cave Creek, and I mashed them together and created Sunset Peak. There is a wonderful little cafe in Sunset Peak that is Tweety and Sylvester. It's adorable. And it was a lot of fun to write about. And could you imagine someone is looking for something as serious as a diamond being stolen, which is priceless diamond is missing. And they're sitting in a cafe that has Sylvester and Tweety hanging from the ceiling.
The book is The Fire Diamond, a gem hunter's mystery, the first in the Gem Hunters book series from author C.B. Wilson. Her website is cbwilsonauthor.com. At its heart, The Fire Diamond is about family, trust, and second chances. Which theme resonates most deeply with you?
I think in this particular story, the second chance is really what is the driving factor. When you see the history of Taylor and her sister and her father, they haven't seen him for 30-something years. He was removed from their life because he's on the run. And they had no relation to him, no idea who he was. And this book really brings it back of what family means and the choices that you have to make to decide what is the most important thing to you.
What kind of gemstones interest you?
I am very much a colored stone fan. I love sapphires, blue sapphires for the most part, but I could definitely settle for a blue diamond or a pink diamond. No problem.
Your Barkview series leans heavily into the cozy mystery genre. How would you describe The Fire Diamond?
Honestly, this is an action adventure. It has cozy qualities to it, but it really is a story that you hold on because it's nonstop action. It is filled with information about diamonds. You'll walk away from this book with an understanding of diamonds that you've not had before and how they fit into society and why they're so important and the financial role they play.
Every book has a difficult topic, either an emotional moment or some other thing that kind of sneaks up on you. Did that happen in the writing with this one?
Wow, that's a really good question, Terry. I don't think that anything really came out of left field on this one for me. I knew what I was getting into when I was writing this book and making sure that there was a good balance between the technical side of it, the adventure, and the emotion. I wanted to touch on family in this book in a way that people could maybe relate to it if you have a parent that you've not seen in a long period of time, and what the emotional strain is or stress of trying to bring them back into your life again, especially when you're the cop and he's the robber.
From a writing process standpoint, do you consider yourself a plotter or a pantser?
I am absolutely a pantser. I get my ideas as they come, and the character tells me where it's going to go. I had a really great plan for this book at the beginning. By chapter 2, it was gone. Taylor said to me, no way, I am not doing that. And then Glimmer got involved. And I have to tell you, that dog has a lot to say. And I decided at that point that Glimmer needed to have her own platform. So if anyone is interested in following Glimmer, she is on both Instagram and Facebook under Glimmer the Diamond Dog. And she has been an absolute joy in terms of showing off the Sunset Peak and giving everybody a real look at the inner workings of how this book came together.
One of the things I enjoyed most about your Barkview series is how you get inside your animal's head. How do you do that?
I think that having written Dachshund to Death in the Barkview series really helped because I knew what I was getting into with the Dachshund. And they are incredibly interesting animals. Dachshunds there's not everyone I don't think can own one. I think they are very opinionated, but they're also very loving and cuddly at the same time. And it's really quite an interesting combination. And the traits of the dog really helped in this book. We have a very independent heroine in the book. So Taylor Hunter is incredibly independent. So it would make sense that she would have a dog with her who is equally the same. So there actually are two personalities that they work well together when they have to, but boy, they can get on each other's nerves in really short order.
Our guest is author C.B. Wilson. We're talking about the first in her Gem Hunters series, The Fire Diamond. And her website is cbwilsonauthor.com. What's been the early feedback about the book?
The reader reviews have been absolutely fantastic on this one. I think my favorite, and it was so motivating to me to hear it. So it was the first review that came in. It was, watch out, Stephanie Plum, the new star of action adventure is Taylor Hunter. It's funny, when you're a writer, you write a story and you get to the end of it and you've spilled your heart and soul into this book and you think, wow, I did it. I did a good job. I know I did. But having the readers come back, especially this early on, before the book is even released, and coming out with these wonderful reviews, it has really been just a fantastic experience for me.
What do you hope that readers will take away from their encounter with the book?
I hope everybody gets a really true understanding of what diamonds are and how special they are. And I hope that they also look at the relationship between sisters and understand that it's different for everybody. That relationship is not the same. But the trust, the life experiences, all of that make us who we are. And to have a sibling is special, and you need to embrace that, regardless of whether or not your personalities are different or your approach is different. It doesn't matter. You have a bond, and it's something that really needs to be worked on forever. And shoot, say thank you.
The book is The Fire Diamond, a gem hunter's mystery. It's the first in what is destined to become a long and successful gem hunters book series, and it's written by our special guest, Cheryl C.B. Wilson. Her website is cbwilsonauthor.com. Cheryl, it's great to see you. Thanks for the conversation.
Thank you very much, Terry.
In Conversation with Terry Shepard is a copyrighted presentation. All rights reserved. I'm Lisa Davis. Join Terry Shepard next time in Conversation.